first words I spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to A Better Life, the Collectors. Once again, we have with us today Bret Hurt, the dyslexic genius. He is kind enough to be back with us again after the first episode that all of you loved so well, that I've watched probably 100 times because it's interesting stories, all the suffering we go through in this hobby of collecting antique phonographs. Bret has been kind enough to walk us through his shop and his collection, which I am very eager to see, like I always am with every collection. Good morning, Bret. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in. It's Sunday morning, so I'm a little tired, but not too bad.
Yeah, I'll show you the shop here just a minute. Talk about that. You can see the shop?
Yep, I see fine.
Okay. That right there, can you see the Triumph motor?
Yeah, hold it down. Oh my God, look at that. Pull it down. Just point it down a little further. That's a Triumph?
That's a Triumph special decorated from the factory.
Wow.
It's under construction.
Is that yours or a customer's?
It's mine. I found it.
Where may I ask you to find such a beast?
It came out of Fresno, California 8 months ago. But everything's here. The guy was a dealer. And the family contacted me and said, I have all this phonograph stuff. And the only thing I have that you might be interested was this. And I said, sure.
Yeah, sure. And so all the parts are there. You just have to reassemble it?
I have to reassemble it, but it's missing a lot of parts. This piece was wrapped up. And then this is everything I've done. And I've re-nickeled. I've already re-nickeled all this. This was all rusted. I've had to find a few parts. Like, you see the crank handles right here?
Yes.
Okay. This is the original beat up. You see this?
Mm-hmm. Point it down a little farther. There you go.
You see it's beat up here? I machined it.
You have to tilt, not push it down, but tilt. There you go.
Yeah, this is the original part. See the wear?
Right.
And then this is the brand new one I made for it. The shaft.
Wow.
Dead on. And then right now on the motor on Triumphs, you have these steel bearings that go in here.
Right.
And I don't like those, so I'm machining oilized bronze ones for this. I had to change a few parts because it's personal machine. But it was beat up. Somebody had wrapped up the motor. You know, you get into stuff like the lead screw here has dents in it, so I had to find a better one. So I'm going to use this one instead of the original. And then that's all the tools, my lathe, and everything else. There's my mill. And then 35 I'm working on right now, which I'm having a hard time getting that screw out right there.
Right.
I had a good video on the doing the reproducer that was really trashed out. And then that's my workbench. And on 35s, they don't have a pin to hold the spring. What they have is this piece of metal right here that hooks in.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of other stuff I have to do to it. But this is where all the stuff happens. Here's the cabinet for the case on the 35 I'm doing for the customer. But it's missing the hinge that holds the lid up, and I'm having a heck of a time trying to find that.
That sounds like a rough one. So anybody out there that has one they're looking to alleviate, you know who wants it.
Oh no, yeah. And then this is really the shop is over 40 years of working. when I moved, I had two of these red ones. I got to tilt it back up because it got bent. And then the other one fell over, so I had to buy this one.
Oh,
Yeah, I have, all the stuff in here for fixing them. And, the red one holds screws and nuts and pulleys and everything else that I need.
it's interesting. I don't know when the movers saw those things, did they almost fall over or what?
Oh, yeah, they fell over. I, I used to live in California, and this thing got bent, and I haven't had time to jack it up.
Right.
And the other one was bent too in the move. I didn't realize that till I moved it. And when I moved to this new house, it fell over and hit me.
Well, you're lucky you didn't get killed. What, are you kidding?
Oh yeah, I'm lucky to get killed. And then this tells me threads and nut sizes real fast. I'm not a guy who go, oh yeah, that's a 540 screw.
Right.
I don't, it's like on restorations, I do. A lot of people, I'm going to get over here. I found that at a swap meet. And that gives you, somebody had made it in World War II, some lieutenant. But it has, standard size screws. So you can
Right.
put the screw in to find the thread size. So then on the smaller ones, I built this, all the tap sizes. So 440, 540, 440 are basically your new one, right? And then you'll get down to, 172 here and stuff. And then there's some other offbeat threads on phonographs. So, you get the thread and you go, okay, this thing's shut after replace the screw. Now what size is it? Well, that's how I designed fix the size.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And the best tool to ever have is one of these, a veneer caliper. I tell people that's the first tool you should buy. And you can get them cheap from Harbor Freight. So I think I'll start upstairs.
Okay.
Because
Why don't you try again to spin the camera around, make it easier on yourself so you can see what you're filming? Hey, I meant try to use the button again. Try to look for it and see if you can. Just to make it easier on you, because you could be looking at what you're filming.
Well, I can't get it to flip.
Okay. We appreciate you struggling through it. Believe me.
Flip. What's this?
How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay. Trying to figure out how we should have had kids.
Oh no.
I don't have any either. So.
Oh.
What is
we have phonographs, right?
Yeah, we have phonographs. I don't know what. No, that doesn't do anything. Microphone.
Oh well, I'll do it this way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll go up. I'm going to go upstairs first, and then.
How you liking the new house?
Oh, I love it, man! Because I got this room up here. I finally have music. I finally have a music room. There's the guard dog.
It's great.
And that is original parts and service side.
Just what you deserve. Parts and service side.
And over here, I have the stamper for, I think, a 45 I found. Right there. That's cool. This is the piece that they mounted on one side, the other side when you press the record.
Right.
Yeah.
Looks like a hubcap.
Yeah, it looks like a hubcap. There's my other dog. And then those are the kitty picture discs Cheryl likes.
Yeah, I've seen those in the background on many of filming.
Oh, yeah. And then here's the bigger ones. And then I have a few Victors. And then these right here, these little ones right there, those are all from LA County, LA area recording studios. So if you wanted to make a demo tape,
right,
Yeah, this was later, I think, in the 50s. They did that. And then I have an original RCA's chair.
Yeah, I've seen one of those before at an auction.
Yeah, I
They're
got this
nice.
about 15 minutes from my house at a yard sale.
I need to go to more of these things. I don't go to many, and the Wyatt and Joe tell me all the time, you got to go. I love that horn.
Oh God, that's original factory. Victor had horns, and they would paint them for you special decorated. They weren't all black. It was an order. And I found this one, and it had just a little bit of the yellow
Right.
showing. So I polished it out, and I had the paint mix, and then I did it. Then when I striped it, when you look at the stripes, they kind of pop at you a little.
Right.
Right. So what I did was I had gold in the middle and then black on the outside.
Nice.
And through its life, somebody had welded it here. But I knew what it was when I saw it.
Right. Which Victor is that?
Okay, I knew you guys were going to ask me these questions, and I can't look at a Victor and go, oh, that's a blah 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 blah
Oh,
blah.
I can't either. That's why I asked you. I have to look at the tag. That's a 5.
No,
4. What could it be?
it's my Vic 2, I think. Yeah,
Oh, it's a 2. Oh, that's why it looks familiar.
yeah,
Happens to be one of the other. I have a Vic 2 and a Vic 5. I don't have any of the other. Well, I have
yeah.
a bunch of others, but not
I'll
in
go
that
through the
group.
I'll go through the paraphernalia.
Okay.
This is the guy who invented coon music. That's a sheet music. And then here's my World War II stuff. You know, FDR and all his stuff. And then this is the record of signing Social Security, and here's a USO one. You can make a home recording in the war. And then
Wow.
all these pictures on the wall are Mrs. Geniuses. This is the top 2 rows are the dupes of Vogues.
Wow. That's a lot.
This is 40 years of collecting.
I mean, just taking them down and putting them up in the move must have taken days.
Well, the fam came in from England, my brother and sister-in-law and nieces,
Right.
and they helped me work on this, which was fun. And then this is my Catholic church. I found that somewhere.
Wow. I never saw one of those before.
And then over here is the FDR stuff, one for Pearl Harbor. And then this is a back plate, if you can see it, RCA. They're hard to read, but that's the back plate.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
33 1/3. Okay. So let me move over to back plates for you. That's the sleeve for a back plate. Yes, I put a kitty disc in the middle of the hole.
You're allowed.
Yeah. And I just found they came white or blue, and I've never found a white one or a blue one, and I just found this one here.
Wow.
This black back plate, and then
Those
this
are
is
nice.
the back plate.
And you do a lot of finding in antique shows and
Antique
garage sales.
Facebook Marketplace or eBay. And then Cheryl, when we were out hunting, she loved the kitty art. You know, it's kind of like here's Roly Poly.
I remember as a kid having, pictures like that. You know what I mean? They don't make it like that anymore, but as a kid, like little books you had or comic books you had or games you had all had that type of art on it.
And then this is all of Cheryl's kitty discs.
Which is a very nice collection.
Oh yeah, and then what I did was these are more of the recording things, and then we found this one that's extremely rare, and then these are records, so you could play the record here, and it has the book. You could read it to your children. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, I had one of those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It had it was a special machine, and you had a special record, and it came with a book. It wasn't as old as that is, but.
Uh-huh. And then here's some more. This is a hit of the week. And then this one came off a portable. And then these are the needle tin cards.
Yes.
And I'm going to get to those in a minute. But those records up here are the jackets with, people like right there, the green, yellow, and blue one. That's Mr. Potato Head and
Right.
other people on it. Cheryl's a
Whitman.
nurse.
Right.
I found those two jackets with nurse stuff on it. And that's another kitty disc thing. So over the years, I went to a guy when we lived in California, and he said, "Hey, I have some phonograph stuff." And I go, "What do you have?" He goes, "I have these needle cards." I go, "Okay, I'll come over and look." So I spent, I think, $65 for the whole set. This is 40 years ago, and these are all unopened. So here's a Fidelitone,
Wow.
and then I have these.
Wow. Look at that one.
This advertising.
They're out there. Everything's out there. People say, "Oh, my grandfather had a hardware store. This stuff's been in the basement," right?
Yeah. More Fidelitone. People would kill for this cactus needle.
I mean, that's a beautiful collection of needles. Some people, that's all they collect, right?
Yeah. And then I have this one here, this metal display.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I went up to the high desert in California to buy a 16 Eldor, and the guy threw that in for me. And then we have more here. And then this is a packaging thing that it went into. That's that. I have a couple of more. My splatter record. I'll show you one more paraphernalia. Can you see this red box?
Yes.
Okay. Nope, not that box. This box right here where my hand is?
Yes.
That's the box that all the needles were shipped to the dealerships of Victor. Completely. I opened it.
Tilt it down a little and I'll... Oh, yeah, I see. Very nice.
And this was the end cap.
Nice collection. That's a nice piece. That tells... I like telling a story. Those things all tell a great story.
Oh, yeah. And then nippers. This piece here, right here. This is the wooden block. You never see them. The wooden block under the spring barrel of an outside horn Victor machine.
Wow.
Yeah. This is original
Battery
bottle for Class M. And then I like the artwork. So I got Bozo, the lion, Bugs Bunny, Dumbo, and Bozo.
So
My
nice.
friend Don helped me put the shelf in and all the record shelving in on this. This is the music room. This is all the records.
I mean, you haven't moved that long ago. You really have a lot done. I'm very impressed.
And I tell everybody, when I started out, I bought every phonograph book I could put my hands on.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. And then other stuff. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to brag about myself, okay?
You can all you want. You're one of the guys that can.
There was a guy, let me lay it down here, named Ron Deffelson, Edison researcher, right? I bought a book from him, and I go, "Oh, hey, can you sign it?" Okay, and I'm new at rebuilding stuff. And I don't know what he found, but he wrote that to me in 1999.
Wow.
Yeah, the Path A book. You got to buy this stuff. So let's get.
I have a guy in California. He goes to all kinds of whether it's garage sales or antique shows, and he sees it and he takes a picture of it and he goes, "Do you want it? It's this much." And I never say no. Even if I don't want it, I don't say no because I know that he's going to come up with the thing that I'm going to want, and he's going to sell it to somebody else. So I try to keep him busy.
And these are the cards and stuff. Advertising. What's under your
Yeah,
hood? That one.
yeah, I have a couple of
And
those.
then Cheryl's Raggedy Ann. So this is an Edison Beethoven.
Wow.
These were built at the end of production. They were about $200 and some new. This is their version of an orthophonic, and they didn't sell a lot of them.
You
I
know,
have my dance reproducer on this, but the storage is massive. Yeah,
and
we have
for
two shelvings for storage, and then you have this. It's a bigger horn than normal,
right.
and these things are really, really, really loud.
And for those of you that are listening that don't know what a Diamond Disc dance reproducer, Bret has a great video on his Dyslexic Genius YouTube channel where he goes through all the reproducers and explains them that Diamond Disc made. So I urge you to check out that in his other videos.
And this is the Schubert. Same thing. Same size horn, just a smaller cabinet.
If I can ask, where did you find those, if I may? And you restored these, or they came
Oh
in
yeah,
great shape?
I restored them.
Yeah, that's why they're such great shape.
I found that one in Anderson, Anderson, down the street from me, an hour away. Okay, and I got my buddy Howard. He likes to go hunting with me, and we drove to Alabama, like 6.5 hours in his truck to pick this up. And he'd never been to a Buc-ee's, and there was a Buc-ee's right by the place where we picked this up. And these things weigh probably close to 300 pounds. And the guy was moving, and he had two mover guys. And I said, "Here's $20 each, man. You can get that in the back of the truck."
Yeah, the best money you ever spent, right?
Yeah. And what I did was when I restored them, on the Edison's, you drop the record in, right?
Right.
And it goes clunk. So what I did, I took all this out and I put rubber underneath. So when you drop it in, you hear that it doesn't hit
Yeah.
wood.
Nice.
And I think I did on this side too.
It's very nice. And for those of you that have these diamond discs, I suggest that you at least take one of your reproducers and send it to Wyatt Marcus and have him redo it, and then put it in every one of your other diamond discs, and you will hear a difference that's amazing.
Okay. Give me a moment. I'm not going to play too many.
You do whatever believe me, anything you do, everyone's going to watch. So feel free to do whatever turns you on, as they say.
I think that's enough. Let's see. I'll give you a taste.
Wow. There's such amazing machines. I love them. Except the bigger ones are so damn heavy.
These are way louder than any other Edison. Whoopsie, Brett. Okay.
Right.
My spring's a little loose. I also, on all Edisons, I take out the volume control.
Yeah, I hate those damn things.
Yeah. And then this is a 17.
Yeah, beautiful, great shape. Back up from it a little bit so we can see the front. Oh yeah.
And this is an 8.9 that everybody wants. This is the only machine Victor made that was painted from the factory commercially.
Right.
Else you had to pay for.
Is that why they want it? Because the way it was painted, or
They made these for the immigrant population, the Europeans and stuff,
right?
Irish and Scottish people coming in, so put the Celtic cross on there.
Right.
And
And what's
a little trick you can do. I'm going to show you this. You're going to think this is hilariously funny. No, it's on the other one.
what reproducer's on that one?
This is orthophonic.
Right. I don't have
And
an
then
orthophonic.
my 812, which I love these things. And now everybody's going to go, Brett, why is there a number 2 Victor reproducer in your machine? Here's why. The rubber isolator that goes in here on an orthophonic,
Right.
okay, because this is bigger than the other Victors, like an
Correct.
exhibition.
Right.
What I did was I took an exhibition I had, this number 2 I took, and I put an orthophonic isolator in it. Literally, this will bolt in on the machine. They almost sound identical.
Hmm.
So if you have an orthophonic and it died, you can get a number 2, put an orthophonic isolator, this rubber thing, in, and it'll play on the machine. And I tried it as an experiment. I went, oh yeah, I wonder if that'll work. And
Beautiful.
we'll move down the road.
It's a great road. It's more like a highway, but
This is my 250.
yeah, I listened to it. You did a concert the other night, or 1 or 2 on it. It was just great.
Yeah, that thing was black when I bought it over 40 years ago. I paid $500 for it, and it came with 500 diamond discs too.
I told you that story with me. I paid $300 for one. I couldn't move the damn thing. It was so heavy on a one of the bigger ones. I forget which model it was, and it was shrink wrapped, and it had 100 diamond discs in it. No wonder it was so damn heavy.
So the early diamond disc, this is the early one, the A250.
Right.
The horn comes apart in 2 places, like a signet horn
Right.
on these. And what's cool on these, you can see they faux painted the inside of the horn. The fat.
Right.
Yeah. So I refoed all that. I redid everything. It's got like 40 coats of shellac on it. I hand rubbed it, French polished the whole thing. That was my first diamond disc. This is my favorite tabletop Edison. This is the Amberola 5.
That's the that's the one you told me. That's the one I need. That's the one I want. I said Joe and Wyatt were out in Pennsylvania. I said, if you see an Amberola 5, there's definitely a finder's fee in there for you.
Oh yeah. And then the hard part is finding that reproducer for them.
Right. That's the
The
N56.
And so you have a 4-minute stylus. Now this has a diamond in it,
Right.
and this is a sapphire. That way you can play black wax on it. 4-minute black wax, yeah. And then my chest on chest, that's just full of Edison cylinders. And you always want to be nice to people. A good buddy of mine, Ken Herrera, said one day, called me up, hey Brett, you saved me so much money doing phonographs. I'm sending you a present. And he sent us the Edison Monthly, those red books right there.
Wow, that's some collection. You see them 1 and 2s, but you never see them like that.
Oh yeah. All right, we'll move down to the other section. Anything else you want to see up here? I didn't do all of it.
You didn't do the middle of the room, or you did? Oh, look at that! I
That's
saw that the other day. Those are your Berliners, right?
Yeah, my Berliners. This is my MS.
Yeah, it's a beautiful horn.
This is a Edison spring motor. It's about 1896 or something in there. 18.
Is that referred to as an M, or is an M different than a spring motor?
This spring motor is the grandmother of Triumphs. Right. It has a Triumph motor in it. It's the same thing.
Wow.
And then these are Edison oil cans, but you can see they come in different kind of shapes.
Right.
And then this is an Edison brush. So I always talk about graphite on the Governor Drive gear.
Yes.
Well, this is from a dealer. Okay. He's like the wholesaler guy for Edison.
Right. Hold it up just a little touch more. There you go. No, just move the pamphlet straight up in the air. There you go.
Yeah.
I can see it.
See that pamphlet? This is telling you
Yes.
all about Edison's and how to adjust them.
Right.
On the back side, it's telling you about graphite grease Edison cells to put on the governor drive gear. I read this, I go, okay, I'm going to try that.
Brilliant minds work alike.
Yeah. And then that's my BG, Columbia.
Beautiful.
Just a minute. I think that's my Vic 3 right here. I might be wrong. With another back plate on it. Columbia
Nice.
back.
Nice horn.
Yeah, this is a Vic 5 we own, totally unrestored. Only thing I did was rebuild the reproducer and oil it.
That looks like mine a lot. I have a similar horn.
With all the dents. And
yeah, I had Duffy redo mine and had lots of dents in the brass part of the horn.
a few collection of reproducers.
Just a few.
Well, this one here is interesting. I did a video. This is a Vixonia. Okay.
Hold it up a little more. Yeah.
That's a Vixonia.
Yeah.
It has a diamond in it. And this hooks onto a Victor machine, and you can play a diamond disc on a Victor machine.
Wow.
This is my 1896 Edison home with extremely low serial number.
Yeah, I have one that very low serial number. I don't think it's as low as yours, but that someone's looking to sell, except they want a lot of money for it. Has the brass mandrel.
Yeah, but the serial number, can you see that right there? 232.
Yeah. There may not be one that exists that low besides that one.
This used to be a spring motor. Somebody converted it.
Oh.
And then Edison Standard 1898 Edison Standard, but with a polyfoam attachment with the two reproducers. Okay. And then this is a Victor M with the extended horn, the aluminum horn, which is fairly rare.
Yeah, I've seen them in books. I've never seen one. As a matter of fact, I saw one the other day in a book, and I was like, where did I ever see aluminum horn before? And now you have one, yeah. Nice.
This is like 1902 Victor. And they're noisy. I built this stand right here one day because, you have, even on the shorter tone arm stuff, you have to lift them up to put the needle in.
Right.
You got to kind of manhandle these things to put a record on, right? And then you put this on. Problem is I made this because this thing was dragging and it was hitting the other piece. And then this is my joke. Can you read that?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. And then,
and when you play those machines, it's like a juggling act, right? You're trying to put the needle in, and you're screwing, and then it doesn't fit, and then you have you have the record in one hand. And you finally lay it down, and then it's one thing. Then you got to crank it. You have to learn an order of progression.
I'll let you hear something.
Thank you.
You want to hear noise? Let me get my...
Well, for me, that's more usual, but for you, everything's quiet.
Oh, they're noisy. Yeah, they're noisy. Then I have the original pamphlet that came on for your Edison.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the paperwork. Okay, we'll go. We'll run downstairs. The grand tour. Little Eva's Temptation.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a little dark in here, but that's
No,
the
it's fine.
Vic. When I bought it, it didn't look like this, and it had been dropped, and the back here was all broken out.
That's a 6?
That's a 6.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I cleaned it, refinished everything, polished out all the gold. That's a Vic 18. I got that from Victor Victrola, Paul Eady.
Nice.
And then this is hard to see in here, but this is a Japan 120, all done from the factory. I have videos on all this. And it was all painted robin egg blue, even on the doors.
Wow.
I can get this open. You can see here on the door.
You know, the people that bought them had the money to have them made any way they wanted.
Oh
right?
yeah, having this done was more money than the machine. And then that's my schoolhouse. I walked into an antique dealer that was sitting there on the ground, not running. And he wanted a massive amount of money, $800. I said, okay, I'll take that.
That's another one on my hit agenda.
Yeah, these things are
Schoolhouse.
expensive, and I go, and then that's a carriola. It's not a kiddie phonograph. You carried it everywhere you want it. It's all made out of tin and faux painted in oak or mahogany like that.
How
And
cool is that? And that's a great spot to put it. It's perfect.
And then that's a Vic 2 humpback.
Nice.
And then the cabinet's a pulley, custom order from the factory that you open the doors, holds it like 450 78s.
Really nice.
Yeah.
How do you find anything?
Oh, where'd I find this?
No, how do you find the record? Are they labeled or?
Oh yeah, I know. That's all the classical in.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then Cheryl likes the paraphernalia. But I'll start just before we get there. I will go to that's a Sterling.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah. My buddy Howard picked it up. We were on vacation, and that was here in Greenville. And then a tin foil. And then a Regina hexaphone.
They're beautiful machines.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the paraphernalia. So
Just a little bit.
a little bit of needle tins.
Yeah, I do like needle tins.
You see this one here where my finger is, a gray one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Victor's first one.
Wow.
These are Duratone in Bakelite that hold needles. And then just go down the road. And all this was gotten before eBay, antique stores and flea markets.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even know what it is. They're just thrown in a box, right?
Yeah. And then we have the record dusters. Then we have a little record on a card there. See that one down there?
Yes.
Yeah, the black. Yeah. And then go down. And then that's a needle sharpener. And then move down. We have a fan in there. Here's another. This is a repeater, Edison light bulb. More kitty stuff. And then I'm going to get down here. Here's oil jars. And the plier looking thing, that's a bamboo cutter. Needle stings, bamboo cutters, grease jars. Okay, you see the Edison right there on the top with the brown wax in it, and it has sewing on the top?
Yes.
Okay, that's Edison's first cylinder box.
Wow.
And they were handmade at the factory. Yeah, oil cans. Pretty cool.
Yep. There's always something new to buy, right?
Oh yeah, love this. Mrs. Genius's maroon gem D.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then we'll go over to the big kahunas. Edison Opera. I bought that in Vegas for $1,000, and I bought the Triumph E for $1,000 one day. They're both shot to death. I rebuilt. This is the first machine I really rebuilt.
So just
and
tilt it down just a touch. Not
Turn it
forward. Just tilt the camera down a touch. There you go.
Yeah, there was no paint on it or anything. I redid all this, refinished it.
Beautiful machine.
Right. This is the nickel-plated Triumph.
Yeah, I saw all the videos on that. It's just something.
Yeah, I got that from Music Treasures of Miami.
That's where I figured you got it.
The Class M.
Wow.
The
How big's the horn on that Class M? It looks smaller. Is it smaller? Or is it just...
that's the 14-inch brass that they came with. Yeah, and then Triumph E, really nice machines. The restored Vic 5 downstairs.
Beautiful. The wood horn. Is that a spear horn?
Yeah, that's spear tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got that, the horn was in a few pieces. I rebuilt all that. And then I think that's a Vic 3. I'm not sure. Somebody will know when they look at the cabinet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then hand-tooled leather credenza. Bought that, and it was messed up. Mrs. Genius took denatured alcohol and ear bud things and cleaned all this off little by little, all by hand. I have pictures of her doing that. That was 40 years ago.
That's a beautiful machine.
Oh, yeah. And
you see them, but not very often, you know.
Not very often.
Maybe at one of the bigger auctions, you see that some collector is selling off.
Mm-hmm. That's our lyric A1.
Yeah, that's
I moved. I cranked it up, and the spring broke.
Oh.
I'm probably going to get on it down the road, probably in June or July. Yeah. I redid all this. It didn't look like this.
You definitely don't see many of those.
And then this is another A1. This is a later one.
Right. They're beautiful. I love the A1s.
Oh, yeah. So that's pretty much it.
That's more than it is the understatement of a lifetime. It's really a whole lifetime collection of being.
Oh, I missed one.
Oh, the EMG.
Oh, yeah. We got to see the granddaddy of them all.
That's the one everybody wants to see. So those were custom made one at a time. Is that how they were produced?
Yeah, they're a bespoke phonograph company.
Right.
Okay. And you went in and talked to them about building it. They built cabinet machines, too.
I've read about them, and yours is the only one I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Just a minute.
And they're all different, right? Because they made them all.
Yeah. That's the 28-inch horn.
Right.
And
Oh, look at that.
They made it one that was oversized, but this is all made out of newspapers and phone books.
Like paper mache kind of thing.
The paper mache, yeah.
And you imagine those horns must have not really survived. I mean, paper
Oh no,
mache horn.
yeah. Here, I'll give you a run. EMG reproducer, soft tone needle.
Made by Columbia Bay.
I guess it's loud, right?
There's no volume control.
It's just full blast all the time. Were they very expensive to buy originally?
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
I mean, you don't see it. You don't even see them at auctions. I mean, it's like
No, no, this
a miracle
collector,
find.
collector between collector.
Right.
Wyatt Marcus contacted me about that, and we bought it.
It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's a fun hobby. Just buy what you like and enjoy it.
Yeah. Wyatt tells me, because I always ask him, I said, what do I really need to concentrate on? He goes, well, you can concentrate on better machines. He goes, there's two ways of doing it. One person just buys everything they want, fills up their house and their storage things, and
Oh,
don't really use them. And then other people concentrate on something. And I mean, I look at it this way, and you probably look at it the same way, is that anything I have in my house, I want to be able to play. So I have to be able to get to it and play it. And I try to play a couple every day and keep going around the rooms, because I look at them like airplanes, right? You think
mhm.
if you don't play them, one day you're going to go to it and it's not going to play.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate everything you showed us. It's a
Oh
once in a
yeah.
lifetime look.
Yeah. Just look, because machines. The market's getting very soft on them right now. If you look at Facebook Marketplace, here's a diamond disc for 1,000, C19. Well, here's another diamond disc, C19 for $300.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to buy the $300 one. If it's good condition, the veneer's not missing and stuff. But they've really crashed. I mean, they have really crashed.
I think it's more than just the size. I think it's the weight too. I mean,
Oh,
bring them in and out. I don't know what I just bought a stand. I don't know what model this is. A Columbia from Joe, and it was totally restored. And he had bought a Puritan, and at auction at Stanton, and he was bringing that in. He had to make room, so he had to get something out. So I ended up with this, and it's heavy. It's not too bad. I thought I broke it when I took it out of the back of my car because I had hurt my back and I lost control. But I like the floor models. I really do. My back doesn't anymore.
they get heavy for me too.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. So I try to hire people, or I have a guy that works in the building in my office, and I just pick him up at the office, bring him here, and say, "You got to take the photograph out of the back of my car." So
Yeah. And the nice thing about now is that, you're out hunting records, you can look at a 78 and you can ask Siri, hey,
right,
Uncle Josh at the laundromat, and you literally can pull it up on YouTube and listen to it and go, oh, okay, I like it. Back in the day, you couldn't when we started.
right. I have my whole record collection on my phone, and it's not voluminous, but it's a couple of thousand. And so when I'm pulling diamond discs, I mean, I hate having three of one, and I end up giving them away to somebody. But you could buy diamond discs till the end of time, and you're not going to fill up your collection, right?
Oh,
There
no.
are so many.
Yeah.
So
And they really didn't do good work till the end when Edison gave the phono division to his two sons. And then they tried to play catch up, and this was the Depression starting. That's when they came out with the Beethoven, and stuff, Edisonics. Then they started doing more jazz, more big band, Golden Gate Orchestra more. They were recording better stuff because Edison always controlled what was on the records.
And he was deaf.
And he was
So, yeah, I know that's what, when I was talking to Jack Stanley the other day, he said, when I was asking him about, because we did I don't know if you saw it, we did a one on Edison the Man, and he was telling me that, he's read through all his papers and whatever books he can have at the museum, and also stuff from Charlie Hummel that he had notes that he had written, letters that he'd written. And he said that, when they would do these demonstrations where they would compare the diamond discs to the actual singer or the actual musician, that Edison would teach the musician how to sound like the diamond disc rather than a diamond disc to sound like the musician. So you couldn't tell them apart. But that's Edison for you, right?
When he'd go down to Fort Myers, then the recording place
Right.
in Oregon, they would start producing a lot of different music because the boss was gone.
Yeah.
And then he'd go, "Why did you record that? That's terrible music." Then it sold like hotcakes. He goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he understood the dollar. That's one thing he did understand, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, well, I appreciate you giving us this time. I know your schedule is a little tight today, and I know you're going away again, but your collection is just unbelievable, and your dedication to the hobby is amazing.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and we'll continue to keep watching your videos on YouTube, and I appreciate any your input. And I do want to send you those pictures of my wood horn that's splitting a little bit. I know you said to send them to you the other day, and I'll definitely get around to doing that. And I know you're going away, but thank you so much.
All right.
Sharing
Thanks a
your
lot.
time.
Yep, it was great fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The first words I spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.